Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of My Thoughts Exactly. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Savannah and I'm your host of My Thoughts Exactly. And before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss an episode. We post weekly here on the podcast every single Friday. You're not going to want to miss it. We also upload the YouTube version the video version, onto YouTube on Fridays as well. So make sure you are subscribed. And with that being said, you guys, happy Friday. I hope you all have had a great week thus far. And if you haven't, guess what? First of all, you're not alone, but guess what? You did it. It's the weekend. You made it. Happy Friday, you guys. I'm being a little bit dramatic. I am the drama, but I haven't had a bad week. It's just been an emotionally exhausting week. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but so many great things have happened this week. So I feel like it's just, I don't know if something is in retrograde, if the full moon is out. I'm not sure what's going on, but your girl is tired. But let's talk about the things that have gone right this week. First of all, did a massive spring cleaning in the house. That was so needed, so necessary. It took me so long. You know, when you guys are cleaning your apartment or your house or your room or whatever, and you do like the surface level cleaning. It's like, okay, I'm just going to like put this back in the cupboards and I'm going to, do a couple loads of laundry and I'm going to vacuum and like the surface level stuff. And then you get down to like the real cleaning. The real nitty gritty of it all. I'm talking the baseboards. I am talking washing every little piece of fabric, cloth, towel, sheet, pillowcase, cleaning out the closets. I had junk luggers here. I had everyone here. It was an all hands on deck scenario. It took me hours. And I did this because I had one of my best friends coming in to town to stay with me on Sunday night, which was so amazing and so much fun. I had not seen this one particular friend in years. I don't think I saw her. It's been like 2.5 years since I last saw her. Yet what is so funny is we are the type of people, and maybe you guys have this friendship too out there. We are the type of friends that we will voice memo each other every single day. Like it is a part of my morning routine to wake up and press record and send her a cutesy little voice memo to talk about what has happened in the past 12 hours that I did not update her on the morning before. We talk 1 to 2 times a day, but I hadn't seen her in years. And so coincidentally enough, she had a conference here in Nashville and we took full advantage of it. She flew in a day early. I was able to show her the house and church and Hayden. She's literally one of my best friends. I asked her to be a bridesmaid, but she had never met Hayden before. She met Hayden. We went to dinner. We just had an amazing night. And on top of that, I feel like I've also, there's something on my face. There we go. On top of that, we pulled out the spring decor. Nearby my house, there is a really cute little area on kind of the popular street, which we live right off of. And every season they have something else. For Christmas, it's where the Christmas trees are. It's where the pumpkins are during fall. For summer and for spring, they bring out flowers. And Hayden and I went and we got these 3 flower pots that are now hanging from our front porch. And it is so freaking cute. I will say that we had our Christmas lights up until don't yell at me. We had our Christmas lights up until last weekend. And that is because we didn't put them up until really late this year. We didn't put them up until it was Christmas Eve. Was it Christmas Eve? Yeah, it was Christmas Eve. And I was looking at Hayden and I was like, you have got to stop being a Grinch. Like we have got to put up our Christmas lights. So we put up our Christmas lights and I kind of vowed in that moment, I was like, I will not be taking these down all year round. But then it was April. And then I realized no one else had their Christmas lights up and it just was making the house look a little tacky. It wasn't a great look. Granted, I still do have my Rudolph doormat, but the Christmas lights are now down. We are transitioning into spring and summer, and the weather here, I will say, I told you guys that this would happen. I called it from the beginning. Nashville weather changes at the drop of a hat, and it goes from so cold to kind of cold to now we're in the 80s again. We're in the 80s again. And guess what? I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad at all. It's so nice. Hayden and I have been sitting outside the past couple nights and just talking and just really been enjoying this weather. And it's been something that I have been waiting for. So I am basking in every second of it. Now, the day that you guys hear this, I'm sorry, I have so many things to update you on. We're already 5 minutes into this episode? Sorry, I'm giving you a mini life update as well. The day you guys are seeing this, I'm actually doing something really exciting, and I am going and doing well, it's not a procedure, but it is like a little cosmetic thing, and it is one of those things that I'm doing. It's a high maintenance thing that I'm doing to stay low maintenance, and that is that I am doing powder brows. So I think what's really funny, and I think I've mentioned this before, my most complimented feature in person when someone is looking at me face to face are my eyebrows, but my most criticized feature online are my eyebrows. I get roasted for my eyebrows. And you know what? I understand. When someone compliments me on them in person, I'm like, really? Like, because I feel like I've just been like trained to think that they look horrible. But the backstory with this is I had actually about a year ago, I said this before, I shaved off half of my eyebrow by accident while I was dermaplaning my face. So I had my little face razor, bam, shaved half my eyebrow off. I thought the best thing to do in that situation is to shave the other half of the other one just to even them out. They didn't have to be twins, but they could be sisters, and I was fine with that. Clearly, that was not the right thing to do. So now I have two halves of my eyebrows and they aren't growing. I kind of thought that they would. I kind of thought that like they would grow in at this point, and they haven't. So I've taken it upon myself to book a powder brow appointment. Now, apparently this is different than micro... Oh God, I don't know. There's so many different names for this. Is it microblading? Is it, I don't know, whatever the tattooing of your brow is. I think that, is it microblading? Or is microblading what they do to your face? Hold on, we need to phone a friend, and this friend is going to be Google. Hold on. What is it when you tattoo your eyebrows? Tattooing your eyebrows is called what? This is, okay. Microblading. Okay, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not sure, but there's microblading and then there's powder brows. I guess microblading is when it's like more fine strokes of the tattoo ink to make it appear that it's hair. I have no idea. But powder brows are more so what I do anyways, which is like filling in my brows. And that's just permanent and it lasts for about 18 months. I am getting married in the fall. So I asked the receptionist if she thought that this would be a good time to do this. And she said it was perfect. So I'm going to see this woman. Her name is Justine. Her Instagram is Permanent Makeup by Justine, and I'm going on Friday, and apparently she does Tennessee and California, and so I'm very, very, very excited for this. I will have a full report next week when we sit down and we talk. You guys, I don't know, I'm kind of scared, I'm not gonna lie, because it is permanent. It's tattoo, and I'm kind of scared because again, I am getting married and I don't want to screw it up, but I have full faith that they probably cannot look worse than they already do. So with that being said, that is my 8-minute long life update. I've told you about the house. I've told you about my eyebrows. I told you about the deep cleaning. Let's get into our little chit chat today. So I asked you guys on the My Thoughts Exactly Instagram what episodes you wanted to see. And a lot of you gave a lot of great suggestions, which we will use as we go forward. But a lot of you were very curious to know about the wedding. Tell me more about the wedding. What's going on with the wedding? And here's the thing, you guys. I feel like I am the least bride person. Like I think I am I think that I am forgetting that I am getting married. I saw this this TikTok of this girl who was like, get ready with me as a bride who keeps forgetting that she is the bride. That is me. I have been going through my daily life just forgetting that I am getting married this year. It's just, and it's not that I'm not so excited about it whenever I think about it, but I think that like my typical response for something that's like a really big deal or like a really, intense thing is I just kind of pretend that it's not happening until I can't not face that anymore. I think it's just my fight or flight response. And so I just have been kind of going through my days. I don't have colors. I haven't asked all of my bridesmaids. I have not figured out who's going to marry us. I have Hayden. We still need to go and see what he's going to wear. We need to go pick up our wedding bands not even pick out our wedding bands. So there is so much that we have to do that we have not done yet. And I feel like, is anyone else kind of like a procrastinator like this? Like I feel like I get the most done within like the last 3 months, like for most things in my life. I feel like I work best under pressure. And right now I'm just like la di da 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 da. Like I'm not really thinking about it. Anyways, so with that being said, I was like, well, there's not much to update you on with the wedding. The wedding is happening. We have the venue. I have the groom. We have my dress. I have two dresses actually. That's really exciting. We have two dresses. What else? What else? What else? We have the wedding planner. We have the DJ, we have the photographer, we have the videographer. Okay, so we have like basically the major vendors. We have our tasting in a couple months. So things are moving, but I do feel like, and I think that this is something not a lot of people talk about, there is kind of like a lull period, I feel, pertaining to weddings when you're planning them. Maybe not if you're planning them like very like if you're like in a rush, or if it's like next month or in like 3 months, there's probably a lot that you have to get done. When I'm in a position where I'm in, or when you're in a position where I'm in, where it's like we have, I don't know, six-ish months or so, there is kind of just like this waiting period. But I know that there's things that we have to do. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But with that all being said, since I was like, okay, there's not much I can update them on wedding wise, how about we play a wedding this or that? I'm going to go through a list that I found of wedding this or that's. So we've done this before when it's like Christmas this or that, or holiday this or that, or birthday this or that. This is wedding this or that. And I'm hoping that by going through this, I too will be making some decisions and jotting them down in my own head. So that is what we are going to be doing today. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. The first one is this or that, white or ivory. So here's the thing. Before I started this process at all, I was like very anti-ivory. I was like, why would I do ivory? I'm getting married. I'm a bride. I want to be white. But then I started trying on dresses and I started realizing that I didn't love myself in a super stark white dress. It just really wasn't very complimentary for me. And so because of that, I found myself gravitating to dresses that were a little bit warmer of a white. I won't say that they're ivory, but I did gravitate more towards a warmer white wedding dress. However, the second dress that I chose, it's definitely more of a white. It's not a like warmer white, but I definitely surprised myself because going into this whole process, I was like, definitely a white girl, like stark white, that's it. But then once I started trying them on, I was like, okay, wait, no, maybe I got this one wrong because I wasn't liking any of them. I think it just like didn't match my skin tone well. And I know that like, I don't know, it was a very like, whoa, like blinding color. And I just wasn't loving that. And I like myself in more warm tones rather than cooler tones. And I felt like the whites that I was trying on that were really stark were almost, teetering the line of like a cooler tone, whereas like the ivory and the warmer whites were more of that warm tone. So I'm gonna say ivory, which is crazy, but I want to say both. Can I say both? I can say both. This is my video. I can say both. I'm saying both. Okay. Next one is roses or greenery. I would say white roses, but both. Definitely greenery as well. I will say this to you, we're having an outdoor wedding. Yes, that we are. Granted, and knock on wood, that the weather holds up. We are having an outdoor wedding, so there naturally will be a lot of greenery around us. And so I won't really have to incorporate that as much. It's just going to be more so finding florals. We do have a floral vendor, but yeah, figuring out the florals is going to be something that's going to be interesting. But I do like roses. I remember when Hayden and I first started dating, he would bring me like one red rose it was like a perfect red rose. And I had this perfect little vase for one like flower. I don't know why. I think it actually wasn't a vase. It was a water, like it was like a water bottle pretty much. You know those ones that you keep on the side of your bed with like a cup? It was that. But it fit this like the red roses that he would bring me, it fit perfectly. And I just grew to really love roses. And over time, these roses that he would get me, they would almost like turn black, which I know sounds very like dark and twisty, but it was like the outline of the petals would darken and it would turn black. And I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. It was like an ombre effect. So I love roses, and he definitely had changed my opinion on roses because I wasn't a huge roses girl. I do like roses. However, my preference would be a lighter color rose. So that's where I stand on that. Okay, veil or a flower crown. Do you guys really think that I'm going to be walking around with a flower crown? Please. Do you think you could really see me with that? Frolicking. I mean, I told you I'm having an outdoor wedding, but it's not going to be like that kind of outdoor wedding. I'm not frolicking through the field with a flower crown. That's not me. You know that. It's a veil. Okay. A tuxedo or suspenders? To be honest, I don't know. When you have it, I should know this because me and Hayden need to go look at stuff. When you are wearing a tuxedo, does that not come with suspenders? Let me look. Tuxedo. Let's see. Okay, so I'm guessing no suspenders for a tuxedo. Yeah, it doesn't have suspenders. I would say no suspenders. We're not having like a full-on black tie. We are doing more of like a country chic, but don't think like backyard. Like don't think like, when I say country chic, I get scared because I feel like people see like checkered tablecloths and like just not what I'm trying to convey. It's going to be like cocktail, country chic, sophisticated soiree. I don't know. We put that in ChatGPT for the website and that's what came out. Okay. Margaritas or champagne? I think for a wedding, champagne. I don't think margaritas for a wedding. If that was like my favorite drink, maybe that would be like the hers cocktail, but I definitely think champagne. I wouldn't be like drinking a margarita on the morning of my wedding. I'll definitely be having champagne, but I don't know what my cocktail is going to be because I like so many of them. I love a Paloma. I think a Paloma's really been my drink of choice lately. I love a good Paloma. Also love a skinny spicy margarita. But I'm not going to lie, you guys, I feel like I'm starting to run my course with the skinny spices. They're great, but the more I've been drinking them, the more I'm like, I feel like maybe my time is coming to an end with the skinny spices. I don't know. But it is my summer go-to drink. It depends on where I'm at. I have several staple places that I go to in Nashville where if I'm going, I'm getting a skinny spicy margarita. Yes, ma'am, that is happening. But other than that, I like a Paloma. Love an espresso martini. Love an espresso martini. So maybe we might have to do that as well. I don't know. But if you're giving me the option for my wedding day between a margarita and champagne, it's going to be champagne, I fear. Okay, beer or whiskey? I don't drink either. But we're going to have both for sure. We are definitely going to have both. I think that if I had to choose, probably whiskey, because if you're giving me the option of like I had to take one of those drinks, it'll be a whiskey. It would be like I would sip, this makes me sound crazy, I would probably sip on whiskey on the rocks if I had to twist my arm, or like a fireball shot, a chilled fireball shot. Is that whiskey? It's just probably like poison. I don't know, but I would probably choose whiskey. I think Hayden would choose, I don't know. Would Hayden choose beer or whiskey? Maybe whiskey for the wedding. I think he would choose whiskey for the wedding. Okay, DJ or band? Controversial opinion. We are doing a DJ. I find this to be very funny because I live in the probably live music capital of the country. Nashville is filled with live music. There is live music everywhere. However, I am not a huge fan of live music. You will never catch me being like, let's go listen to live music. I don't know what it is. I just don't really care for it. I don't know if it's because I also just don't love concerts. Concerts give me anxiety. It's like a social anxiety type of thing. I feel like I'm going to be trapped in an arena and I won't be able to get out, or just like a space in general. But I definitely love a DJ. I can get down with a DJ. I love a good DJ. And so we are doing a DJ. We're doing like a little trio band for our cocktail hour, which will be fun. But for the wedding itself, for like the reception, we're doing a DJ. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really fun. And he seems like he's a good time. So very excited. Okay, candles or flowers? I think candles. I love candles. And whenever I see any like ceremony or reception space, whether the ceremony has like candles running down the aisle or like the reception spaces are like long tables with just a bunch of candles and like some flowers tucked in between that, I love that. That is my favorite. I love candles. I always have candles. Like there's probably 4 candles going in my house at all times. I love candles. So for me, it's going to be candles over florals. I don't know how that's going to work with an outdoor wedding. I really don't. I'm not sure if that's going to work, because obviously with flames, open flames, there's wind. I don't know how that's going to work. We could do fake candles, like battery operated candles. I'm not a bridezilla, you guys, but I have some people on in my corner that kind of are. So I don't know if we would do that, but we probably would do, I don't know. But if we're choosing between candles and florals, I'm going candles. That's my opinion. Okay, outdoor versus indoor. I just told you guys we are doing an outdoor wedding. However, what's so funny is I've been working with my mom on the wedding, and we booked the venue, and I was laughing with her because I don't think it really hit her that this is going to be an outdoor wedding until like a month ago, when she was like, wait, this is like outdoor. And I was like, yeah, no, the venue is outdoor. We're having an outdoor wedding. And it just made me laugh because there are definitely pros and cons to both. I mean, obviously the biggest con with an outdoor wedding is unpredictable weather, especially in the month that I'm getting married in Tennessee. I would like to think that it's going to be good weather, but we just never know. And you don't know how the wind is going to be. You don't know how a lot of things are going to be. So there are a lot of things at stake and at play, but the pro of it is it's absolutely stunning, and it is so pretty and so special, and it's just such a great space. We did look at the venue that we booked at. They have an outdoor space and they also have an indoor space. We did look at the indoor space, which we also love, which still might be an option. Like we might do that, and we might even like place that on hold if that is an option, just permitting on the weather. But right now I'm saying outdoor wedding, but I love an indoor wedding too. I just love weddings. I don't think you can go wrong. Okay, buffet or a sit-down meal? I would say probably a sit-down meal. We are doing something that's kind of in between. It's called a French serve, where essentially it is like the things are brought to you, but it's not plated, because we're getting married outside, and where we are in proximity to the venue itself and to the kitchen, it does not permit for the plates to be actually like pre-plated and then just like placed down. It is more so going to be someone brings over a tray and like serves each person. So that's what we're doing. But I don't mind a buffet either. I actually kind of like that too, because I feel like then you just get to kind of pick and choose what you want. And as a picky eater, which is me, I am the picky eater, that is kind of my dream. So I love a buffet, and I love having a sit down plate too. Again, I don't think you can go wrong. So either one. But if I had to choose, I'd say sit down. Okay, taco bar or stuffed chicken? The stuffed chicken sounds weird to me. I don't know why, but that doesn't sound appealing. So I'm going to say taco bar. Okay, a brunch or an evening reception? I definitely say an evening reception. I love an evening wedding. I do not want to wake up at 8 a.m. and get ready for your 11 o'clock ceremony. I just don't. But that's me being selfish, because it's your day and you can do whatever you want. I know many people who have gotten married, not many people, but I've heard of people who have gotten married like earlier in the day, and they love it and they think it's great. It's amazing. Love it. Not for me. I feel like, I know from me myself, we're doing like an evening ceremony and reception. So I'm very excited for it. So that's just my personal preference. Okay, next one, bubbles or sparklers. And I'm assuming this is for like the exit, when the bride and groom or whoever just like leave the reception, then you don't have sparklers or bubbles. I don't want bubbles. Do not spray or point a bubble gun at me. No bubbles. I will do sparklers. I think we're doing sparklers, or we're doing this like rocket thing. It's not like a rocket. That's really dramatic. It's like those like at concerts or stuff, when it's like a contraption. It's basically the fire comes up like a rocket, kind of like a sparkler on the ground. That's kind of what we're thinking of doing. So I would definitely say sparklers over bubbles. Long dresses or short dresses? I say, why not both? I am doing one long, one short, but I would say if I had to choose, long dresses. I was very dead set on the fact that I was only going to do a long dress for a really long time. I was like, I don't need a reception dress. I don't want a reception dress. And then I saw my reception dress and I was like, yeah, no, that's her. That's it. Okay, farm tables or round tables? What is a farm table? Hold on. Is this the checkerboard thing I was talking about? Farm tables. Oh, I really like that. I love a farm table. Apparently it's just like a long wooden table. I love that. And putting the candles on it, like a white tablecloth and those candles that I was talking about, I love. Okay, photo booth or cigar bar? I would say a cigar bar. I'm already paying for a photographer. I say cigar bar. Chandelier or bistro lighting? What is bistro lighting? See, we're learning a lot today. Bistro lights outdoor. Oh, I would say chandeliers. I just think that chandeliers are so fun and they're festive and they're sparkly and they're really pretty. Bistro lights are apparently just string lights that you put outside. Those are pretty too. I love any outdoor hanging twinkly lights. I don't think that you can go wrong. So I think that whichever one that you decide to go with obviously is going to be really pretty. I love all sorts of lights. I'm a really big lighting person. I am someone who, I don't know, I get very overstimulated when it comes to lights. I do not like overhead lights, especially in my house. If the overhead lights are on, I get really, Hayden knows, like if the overheads are on, I am not happy about it. Especially in the kitchen or the living room. I don't remember the last time we sat in the living room with the overhead lights on. Lamps, lighting, the light bulbs are so important. You want to have the right color light bulb for the room. I think lighting is really important, but I love any sort of chandelier or like string light situation. Okay, next, fireworks or retro getaway car? I would say retro getaway car. I think that that's cute. Hawaii or Europe, and I'm assuming that this is for a honeymoon spot. Right now, Hayden and I are looking at Italy for a honeymoon spot, and specifically we're looking at like Tuscany. Hayden and I we're very in sync on what kind of vacation people we are. I think that this is something that's really important to figure out when you are looking for someone to be with, is figuring out if you guys jive well on vacation. I know some people who are like very much doers, activity people, let's do a 12-mile hike. No, thank you. That's not me. And I love that for you, but I don't want to do that on my vacation. I will go to the gym in the morning. You'll see me there. But after that, I just want to like eat and maybe do a little sightseeing, but not really a lot. I'm really not a big sightseer. I like to just be able to sightsee what's in my vicinity when I do a full circle. That's kind of where I'm at. I also really like, Hayden and I will love doing like wine tastings or cooking classes. Hayden loves to cook. And so I think like Italy would be such a great place to be able to do that. And we're also just thinking about like, we're at such a pivotal point in life where we have the ability to travel freely with very little responsibility. We have church, but church is in great hands with many people that we know and we love and who he knows and loves and vice versa. So I think that Italy is definitely something that we were looking at. We were also considering Greece. I think Greece would be absolutely stunning. So those are kind of like our top two contenders. We also have to think about the time of year. Like we're not getting married in the summer or spring or anything like that. We are getting married more in the fall. So we have to take that into consideration when thinking about like where we would be able to go that wouldn't be, in a very like wouldn't be in not necessarily even an off season, but just like poor weather conditions. And if it was to be raining, where would we like to be to enjoy that together, So that's what we're thinking. Okay, signature cocktail or open bar? I think both. I think having a signature cocktail, like going up to the open bar, having a little signature cocktail list, like a his and hers, and then also having a couple options for an open bar, I think is very like what we're thinking of doing and going to be doing. So that's what I would say. But if I had to choose one, I would say the open bar, because at the end of the day, like, am I going to, if I if I walk up to the bar and I'm going to go for a drink, but the only options are like the signature cocktail, let's say I don't like those. Again, it's not my wedding, so who really cares what I think? But I say both. So that's really my input, you guys. That is my takeaway from the this or that game. I do think that it's important to recognize that no matter what you do for your wedding, it's your wedding. And I feel like I shouldn't have to put out this disclaimer, but I'm going to anyways, because I think that when it comes to weddings, a lot of people get wrapped up in, especially with nowadays in social media, you get wrapped up in, wanting it to be perfect and you want everything to be the best of the best and you want it to look perfect and be aesthetic and all of these things, at the end of the day, what matters most is that you are marrying the love of your life, and you're there to embark on celebrating the newest chapter of you guys together and the rest of your lives and, you know, the forever that you guys are creating for each other. So whatever you want to do for your wedding, whatever you like, whatever your style is, as long as it's true to you and it's what you want, that's all that matters. So that is my takeaway. And those are my this or that's. And that is my life update. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. But with that being said, you guys, that's going to be all for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of My Thoughts Exactly. Again, if you're new here, hi, my name is Savannah and I'm your host. And before you leave, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss an episode. We post weekly here every single Friday. Like I said, you're not going to want to miss it. We also upload the video version onto YouTube on Fridays as well. So make sure you're subscribed. I'll be back next week with a brand new one for you guys. And I'll see you then. Bye, guys.